I know, that's a big one, huh? It's a medicine man. More than 75% of all the medicinal plants known to grow in the United States are found in the southern Appalachians. Botanists call this area the seed cradle of the continent because after the last ice age, the continent was reseeded from these plants. That's interesting. Come over here.
So it says you would make a lot of medicines from the plants and seeds around here.
Over here. What? I'm right here.
Read this, Mommy. Read that. Read that, Mommy.
There's nothing to read.
Dad.
Yeah, that says a little village when everybody lived. And they grew corn so they could eat, and they built houses.
And that's what they'll do.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Man,
Yeah, it doesn't look like there were sparks. It looked like,
looks like there's more.
they pretty much were in modern.
Mommy, it looked like this. Take a picture. Take the picture. Mommy, take the picture.
Cherokee was driven inside a 16-foot wall. They found no shelter. The privacy was possible. They were raised like pigs in the stomach. There was no sense.
Oh no, this is not a real house.
Oil was 13 inch. Traders arrived at the Beading hoping to get anything of value to Cherokees like this. The chance to escape trouble
Come on.
even Beadwork is too much for many of them to resist. Galling and broken bones often follow.
By hiding in the mountain forest. One was a man named Sali. He and his family were finally captured by the last soldiers left in our mountains. But when they tried to escape, some of the soldiers were killed. Once again, Sali and his family hid in the forest, but they would find no peace, because the leader of the white soldiers demanded that they be captured. Because Sali's family had killed soldiers, all other Cherokees were in danger. So, tragically, the Cherokees agreed to hunt for Sali. One of those was a man named Uchella, Sali's neighbor and the man who found Sali. Before he died, Sali was heard to say,
I have a little boy, if he is not dead. Tell him the last word of his father, or that he must never go beyond the bother of water, but die in the land of
We began to build villages and tilled the soil to grow crops. We learned
Stop,
better
sir.
ways to hunt. We created pottery. And all these wonderful things gave us something new. time. Time to trade with other tribes. And time for our culture to grow. Then our lives changed. Strangers came to our land. You saw how we prospered through our trade with them, and how it brought many changes to our people. And more strangers came, and they wanted our land. You saw how we fought to stay.
Sadly, the last one was killed off in the late 1800s due to fur trade. And we actually did not harm the bison though, but we would go behind and we would pick up the fur that they left on the bush that they ran through. Did I say 1800s? It was 1500s. My bad, guys. I'm thinking about a whole other thing way up there. So we had three different methods of weaving. So first off, we had our single weave, which you would get your plaid and checkered printed designs from this. Second, we have our double weave, which you get your double diamond and your lightning bolt with. This is actually our more common weave. You have a wide variety of things you can get with this stuff. Next up, we have our oldest method of weaving, which is our oblique method. You would actually take beads and weave them into the belt to get the design that you wanted. Our people were able to weave anywhere from 12 pieces to 200 pieces at a time together. This is an example of the 200 pieces. We would actually sew this together, and we could make shawls out of this, or we could make blankets. And to make a blanket or a shawl could take a couple months, and to make a belt, as you can see in one of these, could just take a couple weeks. Any questions? If there's no questions, I will send you on down to Miss Amanda.
Thank you.
Okay.
Come here, Elijah. Right here.
Get on with the group too. No, I'm stuck with the group.
She was just kidding. You could see her beautiful face twice.
I love the green crops. But so this is beadwork. So today we use commercial glass beads, a steel needle and thread, but back then we did not have that. So for our needle, we would actually take the bone right above the bottom of the deer hoof, and we would shave it down to a point to get our needle. We have two different methods of beading. We have our solid and our scroll method. So this is our solid method. So for your solids, you would usually use this for a belt or a necklace, and we would simply sew buckskin straps onto the insides of this, so then we could tie our belts in the back or even our necklaces. Next up, we have our scroll work, which you would take this and you would sew along the downside of the men's trousers or the bottom of the women's skirt for decoration. So for the beads that we originally used, we would use corn beads. We could use clay beads that we would make. We would actually trade coastal tribes too for seashells, which we could also use those for shells, or for those for beads. And we would use anything from animal teeth to animal claws for our beads also. Any questions? If there's no questions, I will send you guys down to your next station. Thank you guys and have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Warm woman myself. Then we have the bird, deer, wild potato, paint, blue, and long hair. Each of these clans had a responsibility to upkeep. More about those responsibilities will be explained to you later on the square ground. Now, since each clan was considered to be family, I couldn't marry into my own clan. My husband would come from one of these other 6 clans. He would leave his mother's clan to come live with me and my clan. Now, our children, if we had any, would be part of my clan as well. During a divorce, which did happen back then, the woman would just pack up that man's belongings and set it outside, and that would tell him that it's time to go back home to your mother's clan. Now, the children would remain with me and my clan, and any type of home, property, farmland, stuff like that would remain with me and my care. And a man just has to go back to his mother's clan.